Hi, Joyce. Welcome to the Genetic Genius podcast.
Hi, Lulu. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so honored to be asked to join you on this amazing podcast. So,
Oh,
hi again.
yay. Yay. It's so nice to meet you,
You
virtually meet
too,
you. Yeah.
virtually.
Yeah. And I'm so excited for us to dive in and talk all about the life wave patches today. But first, let's get to know you. What do you do? What's your passion? What's your place on the planet, your planetary impact?
Well, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of six kids and currently expecting number seven in a few weeks.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So, my main motivation as a mom is to keep my kids healthy
Right,
and myself
totally.
healthy. It's because I need to be there 100%
Right.
emotionally, physically, and I need to be in great shape for my pregnancy. Otherwise, it's hard on a woman's body. So,
Yeah.
my health journey really began as a child because I used to suffer from like, eczema,
Mm,
asthma,
mm-hmm,
constipation. My dad was a doctor,
mm-hmm,
and I had access to all the medicines, and I
mm-hmm.
had a lot of headaches. I had a lot of puffers. I remember waking up in the mornings and just being filled with mucus every morning.
Mm,
And my mom was also in the health journey. She was always looking for things to help, and she gave me vitamin C. She told me, don't drink cold water because that triggers your asthma,
right.
and a lot of those things did work. But as a teenager, I had eczema as well, and I started use steroids,
Mm,
and that actually really put me back in my health. I suffered a really bad detox, and I know what it's like to be sick, like housebound
mm,
sick, and
mm-hmm,
so all of this, and also my dad being a doctor, I
mm-hmm,
I picked up some of his books, and he was into naturopathic principles, and I was
mm-hmm.
reading a lot of interesting health stuff, about
Yeah.
juicing and diet and nutrition, and that really interested me. However, I actually took up law and studied law, but then, I got married and I come back to health again. Health and wellness is really everything. If you lose your health, you lose everything. Health is your wealth, and that's with
Mm-hmm.
children. I want them to grow healthy and strong. That's
Yeah.
really got me back onto researching health. And in the past 10 years, 11 years of being a mom, I've dove in into health nutrition, and now I'm learning about energy medicine, Chinese medicine, light and sound, and bringing it all together, and that's really my passion. And
Mm-hmm.
in learning all this, I wanted to share it. And so what I've done is I've created and built a private community of about almost 20,000 people
Wow.
where I share my tips about how to combine, Eastern um, principles of medicine, what they've observed about the human body,
Mm-hmm.
and combine it with Western advances in technology. And, we're going to talk about how we're going to combine this. And, so I am a wellness educator in my private community, and that's my passion. And so that's my, planetary impact.
Yay. Oh, I love it. What a great journey to be started with your own type of illness as a child. And it's so common as health practitioners or healers, when we have this journey where we were like, well, how can I help myself so that I can help others? And I love how you started and then you did your own other life journey and then came back to wealth, health and wellness again, which is so key. And I just applaud you. It sounds great.
Yeah, so it would be great to be able to discuss and bounce off ideas in this interview.
Mhm.
I look forward to it.
Yay. Okay, great. Let's get started. Okay, so let's talk about life wave patches. So, what are these things?
So when I was in my research, I came across a book in a library,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a book by Suzanne Somers. She
Mm-hmm.
was an actress who became a health guru because she was able to bring herself out from breast cancer diagnosis with alternative therapies. And she wrote 27 books on this. And
Mm-hmm.
several of her books had a whole chapter on something called phototherapy, Lifewave technology. And I was curious, and I Googled it. And then I tried some.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a massive impact on me because I think I was having baby number 4 at the, no, baby number 5 at the time, and I had like really massive afterbirth contractions, and I just held these little wearable devices. They look like stickers, and I put them on my tummy, and within 20 seconds, the pain went from an 8 to a 2
Wow.
without even touching my skin, and I was so impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I need to learn about this. So
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned is that, Lifewave is a company that makes wearable technology devices that
Mm-hmm.
help your body um, do 2 things. They're very simple looking devices. They look like a sticker,
Mm-hmm. Like a
and if you
Band-Aid.
you can
Oh
see me
yeah.
using them right now. So they're like a clear sticker with a middle bit in the white bit in the middle, and you
Mm-hmm.
stick them on your body. And what they do is they instruct your body to do 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
They help your body elevate peptides by itself naturally
Yeah.
without putting anything in your body.
Wow,
And
that's
number
great.
2, they instruct the body to increase bioelectrical energy, or in Chinese medicine, which is called qi.
Mm.
So, it marries the idea of qi from Chinese medicine, and a lot of
Mm-hmm.
ancient cultures talk about bioenergy in the body. They call
Mm-hmm.
it different things.
Right.
And then it also marries, light technology and, the ability to use your body's own energy instead of using things like acupuncture needles.
Mm-hmm.
So Lifewave patches was invented by a man called David Schmidt
Mm-hmm.
18 years ago for military use. He was actually doing subcontracting work for a military research company. They wanted him to come out with a system
Mm.
where military personnel will be able to keep awake, stay alive longer, alert without using
Right.
chemical
Go, go,
pills. And
go.
so he came out with something called energy patches.
Mm-hmm.
But it would have taken like 8 years for this technology to be approved and get to soldiers around. So he decided
Right.
to bring it to the public. And in the past, 15 years, he has invented more and more patches. So I'm going to tell you about each one and what they
Yay.
do. So in principle, what they do is they they're wireless communication devices, just like a remote control tells your TV to change the channel.
Mm-hmm.
These are wireless wearable devices. They're powered by your body's own heat and light energy.
Mm.
This energy goes into the patch, which contains liquid crystals made of amino acids and sugars.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They function as optical reflectors and rearranges this light energy and heat energy and sends it back into the skin,
Mm-hmm.
which triggers a biochemical and bioenergetic response. So, like sunlight hits your skin
Mm-hmm.
and your skin responds by making vitamin D, the sun doesn't actually put vitamin D in your body. Your body makes it
Right.
itself because the sunshine contains wavelengths and information.
Yep, exactly.
Instructs your skin to do something. And
Mm-hmm.
so, we're like plants. We're like, plant motion. We have photosynthesis. We respond to light in the sun. We respond to sound. Our bodies are made of water, which conducts electricity. So we are like
Mm-hmm.
energy beings. And this is a very different worldview to what is taught in the mainstream, where
Right.
we are affected by pills and supplements and herbs, which we are,
Right.
but that's working on a molecular level.
Mm-hmm.
With the patches, we're working on light and sound energy to affect the body. And this
Mm-hmm.
is all, there's so much research that shows that the body is, we are like a supercomputer. we
Right.
have
Totally.
we have hardware and we have software. What you see as hardware is the muscles, the organs, the tendons. It's
Mm.
what you see. It's a hardware, and it's exercise, diet, supplements. It affects the hardware on a molecular level. But like a computer, we need instructions in the
Right.
form of software. So the software can get corrupted by things like, emotions, stress,
Mm-hmm.
EMF
Yeah, EMF.
exposures.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And even eating the wrong types of food can affect the software and how it runs.
Right.
It can
Mm-hmm.
disrupt the software.
Yeah,
So
the
the
neurotransmitter
patches,
communication.
correct, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So the patches send, it's like a software upgrade. It's like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
some, even though computers, we need, every now and then we need an update
Right.
to get rid of a virus, get rid of, give the correct instructions, can get corrupted by, lots of things.
Right.
So they're like sending a signal to our bodies, reminding our bodies what to do. Okay,
Mm.
so there, we have several different patches, and I'm gonna go through them one by one. And one of the most used patches in my family is called the glutathione patch.
Yay, I love
I
glutathione.
love glutathione because, if you know what glutathione does, the molecule glutathione is an antioxidant. It
Yep.
is amazing for boosting immunity. It fights off infections. It's so important for removing toxins in the body and helps the liver do its job better. The liver relies on producing glutathione, binds it to all the toxins that are exposed in the personal care
Yep.
products, the glyphosate in the food, and then, it binds it and carries out in the urine. But as we age, we make less glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your body doesn't make glutathione very well because you've got the MTHFR mutation.
Right.
So the glutathione patch was invented to instruct the body to make more glutathione. And in research, they were able to establish that when you use a glutathione patch, your body makes, on an average, 300% more glutathione than
Wow.
baseline within 24 hours.
Wow, that's
This is
amazing.
this
That's
is amazing
yeah, that's amazing.
because normally you
Mm-hmm.
have to either take drops or pills,
Right.
or if you have acute mercury poisoning, you go to hospital and they give you an IV
IV.
injection of
Mm-hmm.
glutathione,
Right.
which is really expensive. You don't want to do that
Yeah,
all the
right.
time.
Right.
So the ability to actually just put a patch on
Yeah.
and then tell your body makes its own glutathione. So your body's intelligence is in control. You're not introducing something foreign to the body. The body has to break
Right. Something it
down.
recognizes.
Correct. It's
Mm-hmm.
all 100% bioavailable in the
Yeah.
body.
That's
All
great.
you
So
need to do.
it's a sorry, it's a like a vibration that so your body recognizes the glutathione as that vibratory message, that photon, so to speak, of light, and then it's able to make more of the glutathione. Or does it
Correct.
increase, like you said, with a software? So it sees that message from the software, so to speak, and it says like, okay, the message is you need to make more glutathione. So,
Yes.
or both of
So,
those together.
well, it's pretty much your body hears and feels the signal from the
Mm.
patch,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just starts assembling the glutathione
Mm-hmm.
molecule from the raw materials in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's so easy to use. You can pop it under your belly button,
Mm-hmm.
or you can put it directly on your liver area,
Oh, that's good.
where if the liver is struggling. So for example, if you to take pills, you have to rely on the pills to be broken down the body,
Right.
and
Go through the system.
you're hoping that it goes to where it needs to go.
Right. You're like,
But you're
cross your
just
fingers.
hoping.
You're
You're
like, will
hoping,
it
right?
happen? Yeah.
But with a patch, you can actually put directly on your liver and tell your
Mm.
body, this is where I want the glutathione to synthesis to occur and
Mm-hmm.
elevate glutathione. So it's so easy to use. You can put it straight on the body that you want to
Yeah.
target, or you can use it in acupuncture points. So for
Yay.
example, in Chinese medicine, we have like 12 major meridians, well,
Mm-hmm.
14 if you count the middle ones.
Right.
And one of the major one is the liver meridian, which
Right.
runs up inside the
So
leg.
huge.
It is so huge, and lots of people don't understand the significance of this. So I'll go into meridians later, but I want to just share with you, like with the glutathione patch, you can put it
Yeah.
on a liver point on a foot,
Oh,
and the
nice. Liver
energy,
3.
that's correct, liver three
Yeah.
between the big toe and the second toe, 1 inch up. You put it on there, and it's going to travel that information. It's going to travel up through the leg into your liver. So it
Mm.
whatever is stuck along that channel, it's going to clear.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's
That's
such an
great. Yeah.
incredible way to not just clear liver, but the channel. The channel is very important because
Right.
it links so many things in the body. So you're not just targeting the organ, you're targeting the channel. And in Chinese medicine, the channels are where things happen. It's like a circuit
Mm-hmm.
in a
Circuit
computer. There are
board.
all these
Yeah.
different, correct, all these circuit boards, and they're different compartments. So the compartments may have a problem, but also the circuit may have a problem as well. So it's important to
Right.
clear both.
Mm-hmm.
It's important
Exactly.
to clear both. So that's a glutathione patch.
Yay, that sounds
And
great. Love
it's
it.
amazing.
Yeah.
The next one we've got is the carnosine patch. So
Mm,
carnosine is also a youth molecule, an
yep.
antioxidant molecule. It's not very well known, but it is one of those molecules that can
Mm-hmm.
actually reverse aging and
Yeah.
lengthen telomeres in
Yeah.
studies. It's able to reverse sugar and glycation damage. So a lot of time, people eat lots of carbs or sugar, and it's actually causing you to age earlier. And the
Right.
carnosine patch is able to reverse that sugar damage and clean out old cells and make the telomeres, the indication of longevity, longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like using carnosine because it's good for tissue healing, lacerations,
Mm-hmm.
bruises, wounds. It's good for the heart and muscle repair. It's good for
Yeah.
brain cognition. So
Yeah.
that's another one that I use as a mom for like first aid.
Oh, great.
I
Yeah.
use
So if
for first
somebody
aid.
falls and has a
Yeah.
cut or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's a
Yeah.
bump on the head. I put it straight on. It's
Right.
amazing.
Right onto the
Um,
wound.
Yes, right on the
Mm-hmm.
wound. You can use so if you got a lump on
Mm-hmm.
your head, just put directly on there. And I've had,
Mm-hmm.
so many bumps just disappear like
Right.
really quickly, because what it does is sending a signal to the body to just bring
Heal
the
this
healing
tissue.
peptides. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
bring the healing peptides. And also because it's working on an energetic level,
Right.
when you have a wound, all the energy is pooling in there, it's not moving. And that's why you get a lump.
Yeah.
When you put the patch on, it's actually trying to disperse the energy and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time raise the healing peptides to
Mm-hmm.
bring healing to the tissue. So you're working on two different levels with one little patch,
Right. So key.
which is amazing. It's
Yeah.
key.
Yeah. The body has a
Mm.
natural message it sends for the immune system to work. So it sounds like the carnosine in the I guess in the action of an accident, a trauma, it's encouraging those cells, those immune cells to do their job. And the fibrin, it says, which is the part of the layer of the tissue that creates scar tissue. Does it work with the scar tissue as well, the carnosine?
It does. It
Mm-hmm.
helps. It helps prevent scarring.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful for skin
It
elasticity,
has a nice
because I
skin.
know, and a lot of things people don't understand when you have poor skin elasticity. It's glycation damage, and carnosine
Mm.
reverses glycation
Mm-hmm.
damage.
Mm-hmm. That's
And that's
great.
why it's so good for skin.
Yeah.
Mhm. So the
Perfect.
next one we want to talk about is like the Eon patch, and
Mm-hmm.
the Eon patch is the anti-inflammatory patch. They all look the
Mm-hmm.
same. They all look like these. That I just haven't got the little package,
Yeah.
but they're called Aeon. They're anti-inflammatory. They bring down inflammation and stress, and bring down
Mm-hmm.
anxiety. So it's great for focus and concentration.
Oh,
And I've got
nice.
one on my chest right now. And I've got one on my pericardium 6. So I'm
Great.
calm during this interview. It's
You're like, ah,
amazing for exams.
grounded. Yeah.
Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
great for performance anxiety. It's great for when you're stressed and you're
Mm,
anxious. Just put one in the back of your neck. And how cool is that? Because you're not relying on drugs. You're not relying on pills. They work
right.
for 24 hours. You just stick them on the back of your neck or on your sternum, and that's it. It's
Wow.
so
So
easy.
easy. Yeah. Super
So
easy.
easy. Super easy, super
Hmm.
simple hack that
Yeah.
you can use for all ages, and you don't
Right.
have to make anyone take pills. It's so amazing.
Yeah. So great for people that have a pill phobia. I have a lot of patients who
Yes.
are like, I don't want to take
Yes.
anything. Or,
I
it's the
know.
compliance part of it too. It's like,
I
just
know.
I need something new. If you get in the routine of taking things
Yeah.
all the time, you're like the pill cabinet and nobody wants that. And it's not good for the body either.
It's not. So that's three. They're called the anti-aging YH trio. So that's
Mm,
glutathione, carnosine, Aeon. So
great.
they're working really well together.
Hmm.
Now, one of the most exciting products that Lifewave came up with in the last 18 months is the stem cell patch, the X39
Yay.
stem cell patch.
Awesome.
And it's just amazing technology, because with this patch, you are able to put it on your body and tell your body to make more stem cells.
Fascinating. I love it.
But it's great because everyone knows that stem cells are good for you, and
Yeah.
everyone knows that stem cells are expensive to get. You
Right.
normally have to travel somewhere and get series of injections from, either animal sources or from your own blood, which they
Right.
process. Then they have to,
Filter it
concentrate
and
it
process
and
it.
then put it in back your body, and it does come with risk, and it's very expensive.
Yep.
It's not really accessible to the normal person,
Right.
and the ability to just tell your body make more stem cells is incredible advanced in
Mm-hmm.
technology. So all you need to do is put this little patch on under your belly button or on an organ that you want to target to make more stem
Mm.
cells.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
how
great.
I know how it works is it actually, so even though it's marketed as a stem cell patch,
Mm-hmm.
what it is actually called, it should be a GHK copper peptide patch.
Right.
Or the
Okay.
patch, what the X39
Right.
does is it tells your body to elevate the GHK copper peptide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
GHK copper peptide has been studied for about more than 40 years, and it has proven to have an ability to reset
Right.
4,000 genes in the human body to a
Wow.
younger,
4,000. That's
healthier
amazing.
state. Amazing. And
Yeah.
you know what? We have, if you're familiar with, MTHFR and all these
Yeah.
genetic mutations and SNPs, we're dealing, if you go to all these like MTHFR websites, they'll tell you need to do all these things to target this SNP and that SNP, and
Exactly.
it's very complicated.
Yeah. It's a
And now you
complicated
have
system.
the ability, yeah, you have the ability to reset 4,000 genes in your body with one single patch,
Mm,
one little hack they can do every day without pills or supplements. I mean, it's good,
mhm.
important to do all the other stuff correctly as well, diet and stuff.
Right.
But to be able to take your health to the next level with a single patch is just incredible. So the X39
Hmm.
patch elevates the GHK copper peptide, and it tells your body to assemble it from the raw materials in your body. And
Mm,
then once you only need a tiny amount of this in your body for it to work profoundly, because it works in all the tissues. What it does, it increases the collagen integrity of your body.
mm,
So um, every single cell, organ, the bones, the tendons, the muscles, everything is held together by a collagen
layer.
matrix.
Hmm.
Correct. And if
Yeah.
collagen is not forming properly, then you can't, you're going to get brittle
Right.
tissues,
Yeah. The
low
cells
functioning
can't
organs.
function. Hmm.
Correct. They're not
Hmm.
tightly wound together.
Yeah.
They wound easily. They don't repair easily. And
Hmm.
you could be taking a lot of collagen supplements, but it's not actually doing anything
Right.
because you don't have the peptide to actually assemble the
Hmm.
correct form of collagen.
Yeah.
And so what X39 does is it tells your body, make GHK. GHK tells your body to increase collagen integrity throughout the whole body. And another important thing I want to point out is in Chinese medicine, there
Hmm.
is a school of thought that says that the meridians are actually travel along fascia.
Mm,
Fascia is
yeah.
made of collagen.
Right. Totally.
Fascia is more electrically conductive than the rest of the tissues in the body because the collagen matrix is, a certain form.
Right.
And so when you use X39, it's going to renew all the collagen through the body and also
Mm,
increase bioelectrical conductivity,
through the
which
meridians.
means through the meridians throughout the
Yeah.
whole body, and that's why
Wow.
it's able to improve communication throughout the whole body. Even
Hmm.
though you're using a patch on one point, it
Right.
has a profound global effect on the whole body because you're increasing collagen integrity, increasing electrical signaling, because now the facial pathways are flowing smoothly because your body's now making the correct form of collagen from
Mm.
the X39.
Yeah, it's like I love it how it's like a little batteries, with a patch where everything is activated
It
through the
is.
system. And there's not a lot of things that can activate through the whole system at once, right? Unless we're going straight into the brain or to the spinal column, and so I really like that about working with the electrical system through the meridians and activating that all at once, especially with working on the fascia, because the fascia is connected through every part of our entire body.
It holds everything together. All the organs are held in place because of fascia. And there's a really interesting book called Anatomy Trains, where
Oh yeah, I
they
have that
actually,
one.
that's a great book to
Yeah.
have, because it shows the relationship of how the fascia travels along the length of the body, and it actually corresponds very closely to Chinese meridian lines, and it explains a lot to why if you stimulate one part of the body on the legs, you're going to have an effect on this organ,
Right.
because the fascia travels along the same lines and they're formed from the same embryological layers. How
Right.
cool is that?
Yeah, so
So,
so cool.
how cool, because a lot of times people study embryology and I'm like, well, why am I learning this? But when you actually understand Chinese medicine, you tie it all together.
Yeah.
Chinese medicine talks about the 6 channels. We in English we have the 12 meridians, but in Chinese it's actually when you talk about the long meridian and the spleen meridian, it's actually the hand and foot tie-in channel, and they come from the same embryological layer that when it grows out, it branches out into the lungs and the spleen.
Yeah. Oh, that's fascinating. I love
How
it.
cool is that? It's very
Yeah.
cool. And so I love learning about all this, and I actually share a lot of these knowledge in my group.
Oh,
So
nice.
Lulu's gonna send a link to that group below, but
Yep.
it's if you want to enter this protocols group where I discuss and teach all of these stuff, go to
Yay.
x39 podcast.now.site, and you'll be able to access this protocols group. It's just incredible. Lots
Wonderful.
and lots of knowledge in there. So that's the X39. I mean, I could go on talking about X39 all day, but
Right.
so we've got all these lineups of patches. The next patch I would love to talk about is the ice wave patches. So the ice wave patches.
I just sent these to my mom to this week because she hurt herself and she had to have surgery. So I sent her a whole a packet of the ice wave.
They're amazing. So
Yeah.
they were actually invented for pain relief. And they're a little bit different from the other patches. So they come in a white and they also come in a tan patch. So you wear them in a pair, and the white one is a positive patch. The tan one is a negative patch that you wear on the left side. The white one you wear on the right side of the body. And what happens when you do this, you put them on the opposite sides of the body, you're creating like a battery in between.
Yeah, like
and
a conductivity.
Yes, it creates a flow of energy in between the 2 points. And in Chinese medicine, pain is caused by a stagnation of energy that is not flowing.
Right.
And energy is stuck there, causing the pain. And so what the patches do is actually going to disperse this energy so that it's not congealing in one place.
Yeah.
And using the patches is just, what you're doing is just you're directing the flow of energy somewhere else. And so ice wave patches, there was a really interesting study done in France by the top pain management doctor called Pierre Volkmann in France, and had 150 patients in 5 hospitals and 15 doctors overseeing this study. And what was interesting was, at first they were like, if it doesn't have at least 30% efficacy, we're not interested in doing the study.
Right.
But they did it anyway for
Yeah.
these people, and the results were, they found that it was 93%, that it had 93% efficacy in reducing pain, especially osteoarthritis, within an
That's
hour.
fabulous.
And that was so mind-blowing that apparently in France, you could actually claim this on tax or like the health insurance, because they were so
of course. Like we're moving into that, right?
I know. So it's completely drug-free.
Yeah.
And the effects are so quick, because what you're doing, you're working on the electrical system of your body. You're not taking a pill and waiting for it to break down and then waiting
affect
for those
the other
molecules
organs. Side effects.
Side effects. And no side effects of the patches, because there are no chemicals, toxic residues that break down and stay in the body.
Yeah, you can
Not,
just, you're not having to eliminate them.
no,
Something you don't need.
no,
Yeah, I
correct.
love this patch.
So
I used it. I had an injury last year when I was doing some running. And I like did, I've done everything to try to have relief from it, but it was this really strange kind of pain and I would come and go. And so I started using the patches and I only had to use 4 patches and I had immediate relief, like not at the same time, but over 2 days. And so personally, that particular patch I've seen a lot of relief myself with, because I
it's
love to run. And I was
incredible.
like, oh my gosh, it's hard to, when you're trying to exercise and you have something that's blocking you. And that's what you're talking about, like with the meridians where that pain is blocked. It's like when you can have that released. And so it's great. It's a fabulous patch.
It's fabulous. And so you can use it for headaches and
Mm-hmm.
migraines. You can use it for, any sort of pain in the body
Mm-hmm.
you can think of. It's probably going to do something 90% of the time, because again, pain is a blockage of energy that's not
Exactly.
moving. So
Right.
move the energy and you relieve the pain. And if you've been to a chiropractor who uses blue lasers,
Mm-hmm.
ice waves are like blue lasers. It
Oh, nice.
sedates
The cold laser.
excess, yes,
Mm-hmm.
it sedates excess energy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's great for clearing like the liver channel, which
Mm.
tends to be in excess a lot of time. It's great for
Yep.
like, IT band injuries, which tends to be a gallbladder channel
Right.
problem,
Yep.
sciatic type pain, frozen shoulder. Again, those things all come from the gallbladder meridian. Very interesting. Again,
Right.
visit my protocols group for more information about
Yay.
all the meridians and how it affects you. Temporal headaches and migraines are also a gallbladder meridian
Yeah,
issue.
exactly.
And
Right by the eye.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
correct. And it can give people like ocular migraines because
Mm-hmm.
liver and gallbladder opens into the eye.
Right. Exactly. Oh,
So
that's
so
great.
fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And
that's the
it's,
ice ray patches.
yeah, it's so interesting how our body, when we look at it from the Chinese medicine perspective and then the natural perspective, and looking at both of those things together, and seeing, I liked how you talked about earlier that our body is this energy form of light, right? And so when we're talking about the meridian channels and moving through things, especially the liver and the gallbladder, because people don't even know the bazillions of functions that our liver does, and how many things, especially like for women, how many things are going through the liver for our hormone activity. And when we can have that organ functioning at 100%, we feel like $1 million.
I know. So a lot of people think that they go to the doctor, the doctor does a liver function test. Oh, my enzymes are normal, so my
Right.
liver's normal. But the liver is like, a diamond with 1,000 faces.
Right.
And you're just testing 1 or 2, enzymes, and then basing on that, you're saying, oh, your liver's fine. But it's not, because there's so many. If you're getting headaches, you're getting PMS, you're getting nausea, you're getting reflux, if you're getting really crampy periods, or you're irritable all the time, or your
Mm-hmm.
eyes itchy or dry, all
Mm-hmm.
these point to your liver not
Yeah.
functioning. And but a simple enzyme test is not going to tell you that. It's probably going to tell you
No.
it's normal.
Right. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, my liver
so
works great. I'm like,
I
maybe
know.
not.
So it's not. So
Yeah.
it's so common. And in Chinese medicine, the liver is a general of qi. It actually, because
Mm-hmm.
you know why? The
Yeah.
liver makes collagen. So
Yay, collagen.
if the liver is not happy, the collagen synthesis is interrupted. So if the liver is filled with toxins, the
Mm,
collagens that is being formed is going to be deformed. It's going to be
right.
stuck with toxins, and this collagen gets sent all over the body to repair your body, but
Mm-hmm.
not correct form of collagen. So the collagen is, it is contaminated. It's
Right.
brittle.
Yeah.
It's like building a house with the wrong materials, and it's
Right. Your
going to
house
break
just
down.
falls down. Yeah.
It falls down. So
Mm,
it's really important for these people. We need to use the glutathione patch on your liver to clear all the toxicity, and then use the X39 patch to help the liver make correct form of collagen.
totally. Yeah. Oh,
How
that's
cool is that?
fascinating. Right back to the collagen conversation we were
Correct.
talking about
Correct.
earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many things that our body's intertwined with, and with the patches, you can have multiple things at once.
Sorry, my cat was crying, was meowing behind me. He's
That's
fine.
fine. Um, So
Great. Awesome.
so
Okay. So we
yeah.
talked about the ice wave patch, great for pain relief. Awesome. And so can we talk about the SP6 patch next? Because it kind of seems like that kind of headway into it, unless you were wanted to talk about another one.
Well, we can talk about Sp6. So Sp6 patch was invented for weight loss. It's marketed as a weight loss patch that helps you curb cravings. But what most people don't know about Sp6 is it actually accesses the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the region in the brain that governs all the autonomic processes in the body that occurs with a conscious thought. So breathing, food cravings, fluid regulation, everything, you know, subconscious that you're not aware of that goes on is governed by hypothalamus. And if it's imbalanced, you get a lot of stuff that can go wrong. You know, fluid doesn't drain properly.
Anterior pituitary gland, everything.
And then you start craving food that's really bad for you. You know, swelling in the body with, you know, fluid retention. That's also part of hypothalamus stuff. The hypothalamus also governs emotions. So trauma, people with trauma tend to have imbalanced hypothalamus, and you also see these people with a lot of addictions.
Right.
Like, you know,
totally.
addictions to lots of different things. So the Sp6 patch helps balance the hypothalamus. It sends a signal to the hypothalamus so that it becomes happy. When the hypothalamus is happy, you lose your cravings. And that's why it's marketed as a cravings patch.
Interesting.
Yes, it also helps you govern food intake.
Right.
And it also, when, so the Sp6 patch also corresponds to the spleen meridian in
spleen
Chinese
6
medicine. So it's named after the spleen 6 point in Chinese medicine. The spleen 6 point is 4 fingers up the inside of your leg, up above the ankle. So 4 fingers up the ankle inside your leg, and this point is called Sanninjiao, which means the 3 intersection points of the yin meridians of the spleen, liver, and kidney meridians, all of which are incredibly important and wraps around the reproductive system. So it has a profound, so when you use a patch on Sp6 point, the spleen 6 point, it has a profound effect on the hormonal system and the reproductive system.
Hormones.
Balances the hormones and balances the hypothalamus. And not only that, it also helps increase organ function and increase digestive function. So it's a really powerful patch for, you know, hormones, reproduction, the hypothalamus, and digestive metabolic function.
Fabulous. So many women need this patch, you know.
It's not just women though.
Not just women, but yes.
Just women. Everyone needs this patch. For example, my toddler actually, his poos are a bit sloppy. And so as a mom, I'm like, what's going on here? You know, I'm eating healthy food, but something is up with maybe his spleen and stomach, the earth element, which is spleen and stomach. Maybe something's imbalanced there. So what I do is twice a week, I'll put a Sp6 patch on his spleen 6 points. And, you know, his poo will be like really normal within 24 hours.
Nice.
It's amazing hack. I know. So it's really good for children. Children tend to have weak spleens and weak digestion. So it's a great patch for children as well. With
digestive issues.
And men.
And men too. And what about, so when you're, we're talking about children, would you use a smaller amount of the patch? Would you cut, you know, because you can cut the patches and use a smaller amount.
No, you cannot cut the patch.
I mean, sorry, the back of you take a,
so patches, I just leave it on for my kids 24 hours because I'm so busy I can't remember to take it off. And normally, you know, so the company's recommendations are like use it for 12 hours on, 12 hours off. This is based on their clinical trials where they do all the trials based on this time frame and they get all the clinical results. So this is based on like clinical recommendations. As a distributor, I have found that they're still active after 12 hours. So I just leave it on for 24 hours to get all the juice out of them. And I find that it works really well. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it works really well on my kids that way, on me that way.
Mm-hmm.
Some people do find them strong, so maybe they do need to work out from a shorter period and work up
Oh yeah.
to, yeah. Um, so that's how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I want to talk about the Sp6 patch is
Yeah.
you can actually put it behind the earlobe on the left side and help
Okay.
stimulate the vagus nerve.
Oh, fabulous. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's
Mm,
really a really convenient way. So without using an actual power device that you clip on your ear, you can
right.
just put it behind your left earlobe, and it's going to help access the hypothalamus and also access the longest nerve in the body,
Yep.
which in Chinese medicine is very interesting. There's a corresponding uh, function
Mm-hmm.
between the vagus and something called the triple warmer
Oh yeah.
Sanjiao
Mm-hmm.
meridian. Is very interesting. If you go look it up again in my group, I talk about this. Go look
Mm-hmm.
up triple warmer and vagus nerve in my group and how to stimulate your vagus nerve with the Sp6 patch behind your left ear.
Yeah.
And that has a profound effect on the rest of your body because that vagus nerve goes through the whole trunk of the body and
Right.
and
Through the
in Chinese
heart,
medicine,
through
yes, the
the
heart, the
throat, through
digestive
the
system,
yep. That's so
everything has
key.
a
Yeah.
profound effect. Yes.
Yeah, and it's amazing how many patients I see that have vagus nerve dysfunction will have so many cardiac issues with, palpitations and anxiety.
Mm.
And working then with the SP6 patch, it sounds like would give them that a different type of relief, which is great.
Yes.
Hmm.
So it's so convenient to use. Again, you don't have
Yeah,
to carry a powered, bulky device with you.
right.
You can
Hmm.
just wear it behind your ear for 24 hours and that's it.
Yeah, great. Love it.
That's it. Yeah, so the next patch we're going to talk about is the energy patches. So
I love this one.
these, I love the energy patches.
Yeah.
They are my favorite. They are like the ice waves, the opposite to like the ice waves in function. They come again in a white and a tan, and you put the white on the right side, the tan on the left side. It creates a flow of energy in between,
Mm,
like a battery. And what it
right.
does, it tells the body to increase ATP production
Hmm.
by increasing beta oxidation, so burning of
Yep.
fat to
Right.
produce ATP instead of burning sugar for energy. You're burning fat.
Yeah.
And so the patch actually that they found that using energy patches, you were able to increase fat burning by 23% in 20 minutes.
Fabulous. Oh my gosh. That, it's amazing how the body can respond when it's given the right
Correct
means to,
tools.
yeah, the correct
Yes.
tools, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it
So
comes to ATP and production of ATP and having more mitochondria in the system. I'm always looking for ways to increase my mitochondria, the energy power of my cells, so that they can work more efficiently.
yeah, and
Hmm.
it works within seconds. I actually have something called the backswing test in
Hmm.
my group. So, people can actually test it out in real time to see what
Mm,
it's doing for them. So it's a good test for people who have no pain, but just want to know if these patches are doing anything. You put the
right.
patch on the chest, on the lung points, on your shoulders, and
Hmm.
then before and after patching, you would actually stretch your arms outwards and go and swing around and see how far you go before and after patching. And
Oh,
often
yeah.
I would have people telling me that they could stretch a foot more after 20 seconds of
Wow.
the energy patches
That's
on.
amazing.
It is amazing because what
Yeah.
it does is increasing electrical activity in the body and making
Right.
everything more flexible. And it has the ability to increase flexibility, increase muscle strength, reduce fatigue,
Hmm.
increase endurance. And this is why it was actually invented for military use, for
Oh, right.
Navy
What you were talking about in the
SEALs.
beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these were the original patches invented for military use to help them keep alert and alive longer on your missions
Yeah, we're all
without
saving
having
stuff for
quips.
the
It's so
military we can
cool.
use later on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah, that's great. And so
I know.
you can use it as an athlete. It sounds like that would be a great patch for if you're doing a lot of competitive athletics or just doing a lot
Yes.
working out post
Yes.
workout.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. So they're amazing for athletes, but you know what? They're also amazing for everything else because you can use them like acupuncture needles, but
Mm,
more they're like red lasers. They're tonifying. If you
mm,
are weak and deficient or your organs are weak, you can bracket the organs and create an energy flow to energize the organs. For
mm.
example,
Yeah.
if you are wheezing, you have a lot of wheezing and you got weak lungs and
Yeah,
you're
like asthma
prone,
or something.
yes, asthma, what
Mhm.
you would do is you would patch your lung points. And what happens is the patches create a flow of energy into the lungs,
Mm,
increasing energy flow through the lungs.
yeah.
And this makes you, so what happens is people who have low energy, in the organs, low energy in the
Shallow
organs
breathing.
attract pathogens. Pathogens like
Hmm.
to replicate in low energy organs. When
Yep.
you are flooding the organs with energy, you're going to discourage viral replication. You're going to infuse
Exactly.
the organs with lots of bioelectrical energy, which means you're not as prone to wheezing,
Hmm.
and you're going to be able to give your lungs more flexibility. Remember, flexibility is
Right.
going to be able to expand more for a bigger breath, and
Yeah,
that's a big
bigger
thing with
breath. Yeah.
asthmatics.
And
Yeah, so
oxygen is so beneficial for like every
it
part of our
is.
body. We need it.
Yes, and we
Mhm.
have pictures of opera singers patched up on the stage and
Wow.
singing
Oh, how
with
beautiful.
more power
Yeah.
because you are giving your lungs more electrical energy, expanding them for greater lung capacity.
Yeah. Being able to open up the meridians, open up
Yes,
tissue.
correct,
Yeah, and so many people
correct.
are needing that right now with COVID around the planet, and also, in this more, I think, in the state of stress, because when we're in that state of stress, we don't breathe properly. We take more and more
Yeah,
shallow breaths. So that's a great one to help open up the lungs and help to reduce
yes.
stress.
So I love using energy patches for coughs and colds and flus and stuff like that
Hmm.
because those things are a sign of low energy
Yeah.
in the body. So when you
Hmm.
are, so they were great on my children when I want to tonify their lungs and make sure they're not going to pick up something. I will
Mm.
put energy patches on their lung points to ensure that their body is flooded with bioelectrical energy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that patch. I think I will
I
use
love
that on
it.
my upcoming travel.
Do it, do
Yeah, that
it.
sounds like a good one.
And so again, I've got all these protocols in
Nice.
my protocols group. So make sure you go to x39podcast.now.site. And once you enter your email, you'll be able to get into the group.
Great. And I'll make sure I put that in the show notes for
Fabulous.
everyone
Yes.
to access. That's great. Okay. I think the Silent Night one, that's the only one I think we didn't hit.
Okay, so Silent Nights was invented to help people sleep deeper and better and longer.
I love this one. Oh my
And
God. I sleep like a rock.
wow.
Yeah.
So it studies by Dr. Norm Shirley from Shirley
Hmm.
Wellness. He's actually a really big health wellness author.
Hmm.
He did a study on the silent nights and he said that it improved the length and quality of sleep by 66%.
That's great improvement.
That's
Does it activate
incredible.
melatonin in the
Yes,
pineal
it
gland? Because you put the patch
yes,
here, right? In the
yes.
between
It
the eyebrows.
tells the body to make more melatonin, and
Hmm.
also it has the ability to bring the brain waves down
Mm.
to a calmer state. Now I'm
Oh,
not sure
great.
which state was delta or theta. I can't remember
Yeah,
which
I think the
one, but
theta. Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
it brings down to a calmer state. It's also a good patch for hyperactive children. If you
Mm.
put them behind the right ear, it's actually very calming.
Mm.
Um, And in Chinese medicine, sleep can be due to a few things like a disturbance of the heart, shen,
Yeah.
or liver stagnation. So liver is very irritable. If you wake up between 1 and 3, it's probably because your liver is not happy. That's where it wakes up. It tries to detoxify, and it's all the toxins moving out. It wakes you
Right.
up.
Yeah. It's
And
like, what are you doing?
yeah,
You're too
so the
tired.
silent nights you would try the silent nights on a liver point on your foot if that was the case
Mm,
to calm the liver
to
meridian
calm the
down.
liver. That's
Yeah,
so
so
such so
all the
brilliant.
yeah, all the patches come with a little booklet with 5 little locations that you can try to find what's
Oh,
the
so you don't have to
best.
guess, which is great.
You don't have to guess, correct? So, but very simply, you can put it on your forehead, you can put it behind your right ear, you can put it on your right foot on level 3, and just play around with it and make
Yeah.
sure
See
that,
what
yeah,
results you get yourself. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
so that's the silent nights,
Great.
and yeah. So those are some of the patches. I don't think we've covered all of them, but they're the main ones I
The main
really
ones.
love
Yeah.
people to have and just to carry as even just a first aid kit. They're so handy to
Mm.
have.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
handy.
great. Yeah, I think we covered, all those systems of the body, which is so key for health and wellness, really activating from that cellular root with the stem cell patches, really helping with sleep, with energy, with focus, with stress. I mean, everything. And I love the aspect that you talked about with the vagus nerve. Yeah, just fabulous. So thank you so much, Joyce, for joining today on the Genetic Genius. And can you repeat one more time the website for our listeners, how they can find more about the protocols and join the group?
Sure, Lulu. It's x39podcast.now.site. So enter your email and say that Dr. Lulu's podcast was what brought you here, and you'll get into the group. And once you're in the group, you'll be able to go through all the units where I lay all the information out. You can do a search for anything you want, for example, pain or brain or hormones. You can ask a question, and this 3rd of December, 7 p.m. EST New York time, I'll be doing a webinar on secret mummy hacks, how to
Oh,
fight
yeah.
coughs and
Awesome.
flus and
Mm,
without drugs very quickly. So I'm
yeah.
going to share all my secrets in there. So make sure you tune in
Yeah,
on the
definitely.
events. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'll make sure I post that earlier because this podcast is broadcasting a little bit later than that. So I'll make
okay,
sure I put
no.
that link out
There will
ahead of
be a
time.
replay. There will be a
Oh, great.
replay when they
Okay.
get into the events.
Great. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you, Joyce. It's been a joy to have you on the Genetic Genius podcast today. And I learned so much about all the amazing functions and everything about the Lifewave patches. And I cannot wait for our listeners to enjoy the show as well.
Thank you, Lulu, for having me here. It was an amazing pleasure.